The first light of dawn creeps over Willow Ridge, painting the manicured lawns in pale gold. The neighborhood is quiet, too quiet. No birdsong, no rustling leaves, just the mechanical hum of sprinklers ticking on at precisely 6 a.m. Every house identical, every yard a mirror image of the next. Except one. Elena Rivera's home is a riot of color in a sea of beige. Her front yard spills over with native wildflowers, climbing vines, and lush greenery that sways in the breeze like it's dancing just for her. She kneels in the dirt, fingers brushing the velvety petals of a purple coneflower, her skin warmed by the rising sun. This garden is her masterpiece. Her resistance. A sharp voice slices through the morning calm. Asterisk, Ms. Rivera. Asterisk, Elena doesn't flinch. She knows that tone, the clipped vowels, the saccharine politeness that barely hides the disdain. She turns slowly to face Margaret Whitmore, the HOA president, standing at the edge of her property like a trespasser on holy ground. Margaret's manicured nails tap against a clipboard. Asterisk, we've had complaints about your landscaping. Asterisk, Elena wipes her hands on her jeans, leaving streaks of rich, dark soil. Asterisk, oh. Asterisk, asterisk, it's unruly. Asterisk, Margaret's nose wrinkles as she eyes the milkweed and passionflower climbing Elena's trellis. Asterisk, this isn't the aesthetic we strive for in Willow Ridge. Asterisk, Elena bites back a laugh. Aesthetic. A code word for control. She's heard it before. When the Johnsons were forced to repaint their door, asterisk too bright asterisk. When the Patel family's Diwali decorations were deemed asterisk excessive asterisk. When old Mr. Wu's vegetable garden was called asterisk messy asterisk. It's a pollinator garden, Elena says evenly. Good for bees, butterflies. Asterisk, it's a violation. Asterisk, Margaret interrupts, her smile razor thin. She holds out a crisp white envelope. Asterisk, you have 2 weeks to bring it into compliance. Asterisk, Elena takes the envelope, her fingers tightening imperceptibly. Inside, she already knows what she'll find. A citation, a threat, another attempt to erase anything that doesn't fit Margaret's narrow vision of perfection. Margaret turns to leave, her kitten heels sinking into the immaculate grass of Elena's neighbor's lawn. Then, without looking back, she adds, asterisk, and do something about that fence. It looks ethnic. Asterisk, the word hangs in the air like poison. Elena watches her go, the envelope crumpling in her grip. This isn't about a garden. This is a war. And Margaret has no idea who she's fighting. The envelope burns in Elena's hands as she steps inside her house. She tears it open, already knowing what she'll find. Asterisk, asterisk, notice of violation. Non-compliant landscaping. The words glare up at her in bold, bureaucratic black and white. Fines will accrue daily until corrections are made. She tosses it onto the kitchen counter, where it lands next to a faded newspaper clipping. Asterisk, Elena Rivera wins prestigious Green Space Award for Urban Biodiversity Project. Asterisk, the irony tastes bitter. Her phone buzzes. A text from her neighbor Tyler Nguyen. Asterisk, you got one too, huh? Check the neighborhood group. Asterisk, Elena opens the Willow Ridge Community Forum. At the top, pinned by Margaret Whitmore, HOA president, is a new post. Asterisk, reminder. Per section 4.7 of our bylaws, all front yards must maintain approved plantings. See attached list. Unauthorized vegetation compromises our community's standards and property values. Asterisk, attached is a spreadsheet of approved species. Kentucky bluegrass, boxwood hedges, petunias in white, pink, or tasteful red. Nothing native. Nothing wild. The comments flood in fast. Linda K. Lot number 42 asterisk, finally. Some of us take pride in how our neighborhood looks. Asterisk, Greg T. Lot number 15 asterisk, about time someone cracked down on the jungle houses. Asterisk, Elena's pulse thrums in her throat. Jungle houses, she scrolls further. Margaret Whitmore, HOA president, replies to Greg T. Asterisk, asterisk, we're just maintaining order. Certain people seem to think rules don't apply to them. Asterisk, a cold finger trails down Elena's spine. She clicks on Greg's profile. His cover photo, a grinning group at a backyard barbecue, shows Margaret front and center, wine glass raised, standing beside a man in a Willow Ridge security polo. Elena zooms in. The logo matches the patrol car that's been idling near her curb every evening this week. Coincidence? Her fingers fly across her phone, texting Tyler. Asterisk, who else got citations? Asterisk, the reply comes instantly. Asterisk, so far, just you, me, and the Garcias. Guess which 3 houses aren't white? Asterisk, Elena's breath catches. She walks to the window, parting the curtains just enough to peer outside. The street is eerily still. No kids riding bikes, no retirees walking dogs. Just the distant hum of a lawnmower, and the glint of sunglasses watching from a parked sedan. Willow Ridge security. Her garden isn't the problem. It's the excuse. That night, Elena dreams of fire. Flames licking at her flowers, Margaret's laughter ringing through the smoke. She wakes at 3:17 a.m. to the sound of snapping branches. She bolts outside in bare feet. Her moonflower vine, the one that's climbed her porch rail for 5 summers, lies severed, its white blossoms trampled into the dirt. And on the pristine sidewalk, gleaming under the streetlight, sits a single Kentucky bluegrass seed packet. Empty. The message is clear. This is just the beginning. Elena's hands shake as she cradles the destroyed moonflower vine. The deliberate cruelty of it, the way the buds had been just hours from blooming, sends white-hot anger coursing through her veins. She looks up at the security camera mounted under her eaves, its red light blinking mockingly in the dark. They think they're untouchable. By sunrise, she's already compiling evidence. Close-up photos of the vandalism, screenshots of the HOA group's thinly veiled comments, a map of Willow Ridge with red pins marking every home that's received citations, all non-white families, all on the same winding cul-de-sac. Her doorbell rings at 7:15 a.m. Tyler stands on her porch holding 2 coffees and a manila folder. "Saw your texts," he says, thrusting the folder at her. "You're not gonna believe this." Inside are copies of old HOA meeting minutes. Elena's breath catches as she reads. April 2022 * motion to deny the Khan's request for a backyard henhouse passed 5-2. September 2022 * vote to fine the Garcias for excessive holiday decorations, Dia de los Muertos altar. March 2023 * proposal to amend bylaws banning non-traditional fencing passed unanimously. "This isn't about grass," Tyler mutters. "It's about who they think belongs here." Elena's phone dings. A new email from the HOA. Subject * final notice non-compliance body * failure to remove unauthorized vegetation by May 15 will result in daily fines, $250 per day, and possible lien placement. Attached is a photoshopped after image of her home with a barren cookie-cutter lawn. They're not even hiding it anymore. 9:00 office. The receptionist barely looks up as Elena storms in. "Ms. Whitmore is in a..." "I'll wait." Elena plants herself in a chair directly across from Margaret's glass-walled office, where the HOA president is laughing with a man in a navy suit. *** Richard Barnes, Willow Ridge's lead developer. *** Through the glass, Elena watches Margaret slide a thick envelope across the desk. Barnes tucks it into his briefcase with a wink. What the hell was that? When Barnes leaves, Elena doesn't knock. She throws Margaret's door open so hard it bounces off the wall. "You vandalized my property." She slaps photos of the destroyed moonflower onto Margaret's pristine desk. Margaret doesn't flinch. "That's quite an accusation." She leans back, steepling her fingers. "Perhaps you should be more careful where you plant invasive species." Elena's pulse roars in her ears. "You know damn well moonflowers are native to this region. Do they teach you that in landscaping school?" Margaret's smirk drips condescension. "Oh wait. You don't have a degree, do you?" The jab lands like a knife. Elena had learned gardening at her abuela's knee, not in some sterile classroom. But before she can retort, her eyes catch on Margaret's computer screen, an open email thread with the subject. Barnes Development Phase 2 incentives. The top message makes her blood freeze. Per our agreement, units backing the problem lots, see attached, will receive 15% premiums once current residents are encouraged to relocate. Attached is a map. Elena's house is circled in red. Margaret snaps the laptop shut. "I think we're done here." That evening, Elena's kitchen. "They're trying to push us out to sell our lots to Barnes luxury buyers." Elena hisses, spreading the evidence across her table. Tyler and the Garcios lean in as she points to the damning timeline. 1. Selective citations targeting minority homeowners. 2. Harassment campaigns, vandalism, security patrols. 3. Backdoor deals with developers. "We need proof they're coordinating this." Mr. Garcia says. Tyler suddenly straightens. The security cameras, they patrol every night at 9:30 p.m. like clockwork. What if they're documenting their own vandalism? Elena's mind races. The patrol car always parks near the storm drain at the cul-de-sac's end, right where the neighborhood's security footage hub is housed. She meets Tyler's eyes. We need to see what's on those servers. 9:28 p.m. storm drain access point. The humid air clings to Elena's skin as she crouches beside the drain, screwdriver in hand. Tyler keeps watch as she pries the metal cover aside, revealing a nest of cables leading to a small server box. Her fingers tremble as she plugs in the external hard drive Tyler rigged. The progress bar crawls 35%, 67%. A sudden engine growl slices through the night. Headlights. Willow Ridge Security. Elena. Tyler's voice is urgent. The car slows. Stops. 100%. She yanks the drive free just as the passenger window rolls down. Everything all right here? The guard's flashlight blinds her. Elena forces a smile, heart hammering. Just checking for storm debris. The guard's eyes drop to her muddy knees, the loose drain cover. His radio crackles, Margaret's shrill voice. Unit 4, report to lot 22 immediately. As the car peels away, Elena clutches the drive like a lifeline. Got you. Back home 11:47 p.m. The footage is worse than she imagined. Night after night, the same security officer, the one from Margaret's barbecue photo methodically sabotages their properties, spraying herbicide on the Garcias rose bushes, slashing Tyler's garden hose, uprooting Elena's milkweed with gloved hands, but the final clip steals her breath. Margaret herself, standing under Elena's porch light, scissors in hand, smiling as she beheads the moonflowers. Tyler exhales sharply. This is a hate crime. Elena zooms in on the timestamp, May 12th, 2:14 a.m. The same night she'd received the final notice email. Her hand steady. Time to return the favor. The Willow Ridge annual homeowners meeting buzzes with tension before Elena even steps into the community center. Neighbors cluster in hushed groups, shooting glances at Elena as she walks down the aisle with a black laptop bag slung over her shoulder. Margaret Whitmore holds court at the front podium, her coral blazer screaming authority under the fluorescent lights. Now, if we could finally address the elephant in the room, Margaret says, pausing for dramatic effect as her manicured finger taps the violation list projected on screen. Elena's address is highlighted in yellow. Some residents continue to flout our community standards despite multiple warnings. A murmur ripples through the crowd. Elena keeps her face neutral, fingers tightening around the flash drive in her pocket. Margaret's smile is all teeth. Ms. Rivera, since you've insisted on attending tonight, perhaps you'd like to explain to your neighbors why you believe the rules don't apply to you? Every head swivels toward Elena. The room holds its breath. Elena stands slowly, smoothing her blouse. Actually, I'd like to talk about selective enforcement of those rules. Her voice doesn't waver. Margaret's polished facade cracks for a millisecond. This isn't a debate. Exhibit A. Elena pulls out her phone, projecting a photo onto the screen, Margaret's own backyard, featuring an unauthorized koi pond and illegal Japanese maple. The crowd gasps. Margaret's cheeks flush. That's grandfathered in. Exhibit B. A screenshot of the email thread with Barnes Development. The words problem lots and 15% premiums glow accusingly on the projector. The room erupts. Margaret slams her gavel. These are doctored. You're harassing me because you can't follow simple. Exhibit C. Elena's voice cuts like steel. She inserts the flash drive. The security footage plays in crisp 4K. There's Margaret in her silk pajamas, scissors glinting as she mutilates Elena's moonflowers. The timestamp, 2:14 a.m. blinks irrefutably in the corner. The room goes dead silent. Margaret's mouth opens, closes. Her perfectly highlighted face drains of color. Elena steps forward. You targeted minority households to drive us out for Barnes luxury buyers. You vandalized our properties.
You Stern Lied Stern.
She turns to the stunned crowd. Check your property records. How many violations were sent to homes like yours versus homes like hers? A woman in the front row, Linda K. Lot hashtag 42 suddenly stands. I never got cited for my rose bushes. And they're technically non-compliant. Greg T shifts uncomfortably. My brother's RV has been parked on the lawn for months. The room's energy shifts like tectonic plates. Margaret grips the podium, knuckles white. This is defamation. That footage is authentic. Elena arches a brow. Your security system conveniently backs up to the cloud. Ask your patrolman. Bradley about the server room access logs from last night. Margaret's eyes dart to the exit, where a red-faced security guard slinks backward. Elena doesn't blink. Oh, and Margaret? She drops her final bomb. You should have Googled me before calling my life's work a jungle. She taps her laptop. The screen changes to a New York Times headline. Elena Rivera, the visionary behind Central Park's Pollinator Gardens, wins UNESCO Sustainability Prize. A photo fills the screen. Elena shaking hands with the mayor, standing in front of the very garden design that made her famous. Margaret makes a sound like a deflating balloon. Checkmate. For 3 excruciating seconds, the room is utterly silent. Then chaos erupts. Neighbors surge to their feet, shouting over each other. You lied to us. This is a lawsuit waiting to happen. I knew those citations seemed fishy. Margaret Whitmore stumbles back from the podium like a boxer against the ropes, her coral blazer suddenly looking garish under the fluorescent lights. This is an ambush, she shrieks, pointing a shaking finger at Elena. She hacked our systems. That footage is. Actually, it's not. A new voice cuts through the noise. All heads turn to the back of the room, where Mayor Daniel Carter stands in the doorway, flanked by 2 uniformed police officers. The crowd parts like the Red Sea as he strides forward, his expression granite. Margaret's perfectly glossed lips part in horror. Daniel? What are you? Mayor Carter to you, Margaret. He doesn't even glance at her as he takes the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, my office received quite the evidence package this morning. He holds up a familiar flash drive. An exact copy of Elena's. Including this footage, emails between Ms. Whitmore and Barnes Development, and bank records showing bribes for every minority household she drove out. A collective gasp ripples through the room. Elena watches, heart pounding, as Margaret's face goes sheet white. One of the officers steps forward. Margaret Whitmore, you're under arrest for criminal vandalism, fraud, and violation of the Fair Housing Act. The metallic click of handcuffs is deafening in the sudden hush. Margaret explodes. You can't do this. She thrashes against the officer's grip, her designer heels skidding on the linoleum. I built this neighborhood. Those people, she jerks her chin viciously at Elena. They lowered our values with their third world yards. The room goes dead silent. Even the officers freeze. Margaret's own words, her real thoughts, hang in the air like toxic smoke. Mayor Carter's voice is ice. On second thought, add a hate crime to that list. As they drag her out, Margaret's shrieks turn desperate. Richard Barnes, get your lawyer down here. But the developer is already gone, vanished the moment the mayor walked in. The aftermath hits like a hurricane by morning. Willow Ridge is unrecognizable. Channel 7 news vans line the streets, reporters breathlessly recounting the shocking corruption in suburbia's perfect community. The NAACP Legal Defense Fund announces an investigation. Barnes Development issues a panic statement severing all ties with Margaret. But the real dagger comes at noon. Elena's phone rings. UNESCO flashes on the caller ID. Ms. Rivera? A warm French accent fills her ear. We saw the news. We'd be honored if you design our new urban anti-discrimination green spaces initiative, starting with rebuilding Willow Ridge's landscaping codes. Elena's laugh is pure sunshine. I'd love to. Meanwhile, at the Whitmore residence, a moving van idles in the driveway. Through the window, Elena watches Margaret, now in sweatpants, her hair unwashed, shriek at a stone-faced realtor. 50% below market value? That's robbery. The realtor doesn't blink. Given the felony charges and national news coverage, Ms. Whitmore, you're lucky we found a buyer at all. As Elena turns to leave, her foot crunches on something in the grass. A Kentucky bluegrass seed packet. Empty. She smiles, tucking it into her pocket like a trophy. How the tables turn. Final twist. The security guard's revenge just as Elena reaches her car. A voice stops her. Ms. Rivera? It's Bradley, the security guard, shifting awkwardly in his now uniform polo. Thought you should see this. He hands her a second flash drive. On it, years of hidden footage. Margaret bribing inspectors. Margaret ordering patrols to harass specific homes. Margaret laughing over wine about asterisk, cleaning up the neighborhood.
Elena Arquesa Brau.
Why now? Bradley's jaw tightens. My cousin's Vietnamese. Lives in Pinebrook. Got the same citations last year. He spits on Margaret's manicured lawn. Asterisk rot in hell, lady. Asterisk as he walks away. Elena slips the drive into her pocket alongside the seed packet. Justice, she thinks, has a funny way of growing wild. The first snowflakes of winter dust Elena's garden like powdered sugar. But beneath the frost, life thrums. Sleeping lavender, resilient milkweed. The promise of spring waiting underground. The new Willow Ridge Community Garden board sign gleams by her gate, its letters still shiny. Elena sips her coffee, watching as Tyler and the Garcias string up solar lights around the newly built Pollinator Education Pavilion. Paid for by Barnes Development's voluntary contribution, after the fair housing lawsuit. Her phone buzzes. A news alert. Former HOA President Margaret Whitmore sentenced to 18 months for fraud, civil rights violations. The attached photo shows Margaret in an orange jumpsuit, her once pristine blowout now a frizzy ponytail. Elena exhales, watching her breath curl in the cold air. Justice served. The neighborhood awakens, the changes ripple through Willow Ridge like thawing earth. Linda K., formerly lot number 42, hosts the first Diwali celebration the street's ever seen, her yard glowing with marigolds and tea lights. Greg T. apologizes to Elena with a hand-knit sweater for her dog and a promise to asterisk do better. Asterisk, the approved plant list, is now a biodiversity guide, with Elena's designs as the cover. But the sweetest victory comes on Christmas morning, when Elena opens her door to find a potted moonflower seedling on her porch. The note reads, asterisk for the spring. Bradley, ex-security, current horticulture student, asterisk, final bloom on New Year's Eve. Elena stands in her garden, now a UNESCO-certified urban sanctuary. The wind chimes, a gift from the Garcias, tinkle as snow melts on her skin. Tyler jogs up, breath puffing. Asterisk, you gotta see this. Asterisk, he leads her to the end of the cul-de-sac, where Margaret's old house stands. The new owners, a young black couple from Chicago, have painted the door sunflower yellow. And in the front yard where sterile grass once grew, a handmade sign sprouts proudly. Future home of the Riverbend Wildflower Meadow. Yes, it's legal. No, we don't care. Elena throws her head back and laughs, the sound echoing through the neighborhood like birdsong returning after a long winter. Somewhere in a prison courtyard, Margaret Whitmore shivers under a bare maple tree. Its branches skeletal, its roots starved for life. But here the earth breathes again. The end.